Guys, Cules only podcast episode number 4 is officially here. I want you guys to get in the chat, start the conversation going. Please, everyone who is here today, please like the stream, guys. There's so much to talk about. And my friend Barca Boy is going to be here with me in this show. He is running just a little bit late. He told me 5 minutes. So we are going to have him in just a little bit. But guys, there's so many topics to get into right now. There's so many things. The Ter Stegen things that just came out. There's a Rooney Bardghji that came out as well. Some things happening with Ter Stegen and Hansi Flick. More things are resurfacing. So, guys, please get in the chat. Let me know what you all are saying. But before I want you guys, let me let yeah, so here it is. The training, guys. The season has officially started for Barcelona. Who do you guys think that would benefit the most from having a full off season from Hansi Flick?
Right
because
now,
honestly,
fantastic tone.
the team has
purple.
already in training, and I guess there's a certain somebody, right? There's a certain somebody who is not in training today, and his name was none other than Andre Ter Stegen. What are you guys thinking about that? Like, why do you guys think that he's not in training? I don't get it. Honestly, he didn't want to be part of this training because look at guys, look at this. Who was in training for the first time with the group? And that certain somebody was John Garcia. And apparently, right? What's his name? Ter Stegen didn't want to participate with John Garcia. So it goes to speak volumes of what is going on right now with Barcelona. What is going on right now with Ter Stegen? He doesn't want to leave, but at the same time, he stayed in the gym the whole practice when he was supposed to be going out and be with his teammates. I don't understand it. To me, this is why I'm out on Ter Stegen. Ever since, if you guys know this, if you guys have been with me for a little while, you guys know that I've had been on the Ter Stegen bandwagon for a long time. I think when his time is done at Barcelona, we're going to look back and we are actually going to say, you know what? He is one of the best. He's just going to be one of the best goalkeepers that we have ever had throughout history. Because I know the Victor Valdez of the world. And honestly, to me, Victor Valdez is going to be the best one. But we're going to go back in history and say, well, hey, Ter Stegen was with us for 10 freaking years. But guys, I mean, it's so much to be excited about. Barcelona is officially in training, and I just cannot wait. I cannot wait to see what Barcelona has for us this season. And honestly, like once we see the season has kicked off, you guys are just as excited as I am to watch just give me any game right now. A friendly game, give me a preseason game against some team in Japan, give me some whatever game right now. I just want to watch Hansi Flick. I want to watch this Barcelona team and see what Hansi Flick is going to do. Guys, we're going to be talking also about Rooney Bardghji, okay? So do you guys think that? Get in the chat. Let me know what you guys are saying in the chat, though. I haven't seen anyone in the chat. There's 27 of you, and actually, let me see how many likes. There's 8 likes and 27 people watching. So if you guys can please smash the likes and get in the chat and let me know what you guys are saying. And also, guys, what do you guys think? What's the player that will benefit the most from a full Hansi Flick season? I think, in my opinion, okay, there's a lot of things, right, that have gotten me worked out for this season coming up already. And this morning, when I woke up, what did I see, guys? What did I see from our front office? Well, apparently, we are interested in Brian Zaragoza. How is that sitting with you guys? How is that sitting with you guys? Are we a club now that goes on a Saturday yard sale to see which pieces we can put on this team and see if they're gonna work or not? Because Brian Zaragoza is the only. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'll just get on this rant right now because Brian Zaragoza only plays well against Barcelona. Brian Zaragoza only plays well against Barcelona, guys. You cannot tell me otherwise. Are you guys with me on this? Like for real? Like, are you guys with me? Like, I don't understand. Why is Barcelona going after a player like Brian Zaragoza? For the life of me, for the life of me, like, someone please tell me, what is it about Brian Zaragoza that Barcelona has seen? I don't get it. And so J Rex says Antonio Nusa is better, dude. I Ansu Fati was a better option than Brian Zaragoza. Why are we getting rid of Ansu Fati? I understand the price tag, but this is just ridiculous. But guys, as promised, here is Barca Boy with me. How are you, man? How's it going?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Can you hope you can hear me well?
I can hear you loud and clear. And I
Perfect.
had a
Okay.
lot of topics. I sent you a few of the stuff, man. How you doing today, though?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Enjoying life. Waiting for Barcelona to come back and play some football, and
Yeah.
hopefully we can make the one or two signs that are needed for us to really push for the big moments and the big trophies next season.
I was just talking about that, and it just really got me worked up. That this morning I'm waking up, dude, and I'm literally, I'm telling you, like, I didn't tell you I was gonna talk about this. Brian Zaragoza, dude, he knows this notion that we're probably gonna end up getting him. It's gotten me so worked up. Like, it's like, dude, what are we doing? I thought it was a fake news or something like that. And all of a sudden, dude, like, I'm hearing more and more and more reports that Barcelona is interested in Brian Zaragoza. Like, what are you saying about this? Like, I'm literally like, are we a Yarsel club now or what?
I think it's just his agent probably just putting his name out there to get some links. Because of course, remember he's currently a Bayern Munich player. He of course doesn't have really much of a game time or future at Bayern Munich. He's probably looking for a move to another Spanish club. Of course, last season was on loan at Osasuna. Of course, I'm definitely not in favor of it. I'd rather just trust the youth that we have. You know, Ibrahim Diarra, Tony Fernandez, Daniel Rodriguez for those winger sides. If you're gonna go for Zaragoza, yes, he cooks us, but not someone that I really want to waste time in signing, especially if it be on a loan or anything like that. But I think it's just his age, just putting his name out there for Barcelona. What I heard is that it's nothing concrete, just really random preliminary checks that Barcelona do on semi decent players that they could be interested in case, because maybe Barcelona's mindset is to bring in someone better than no one, and he is someone maybe they see him in the same light as a Rashford, a market opportunity on loan that they could take advantage of. But there's nothing too crazy, nothing too serious in those links. So I wouldn't worry about it
Yeah,
too much.
I was telling chat to begin everything, and I was showing that Barcelona is officially in training. Right, the whole team is in training today, as of today. Who do you think? In my opinion, I know some people have said Bernal. I do think that Bernal needs a whole off season, and well, Hansi Flick did have him for a bit beginning of last season. But who do you think in reality that would benefit the most of having just a full off season? Do you think it'll be John Garcia, or do you think it'll be somebody who will already have from La Masia?
Um, I'd probably say Joel Garcia. I just think there's so much excitement around him. I've seen even the videos of him in training today as well. How much he's the comfortability, natural ability of it. I
Hmm.
just think that he's a sign that we were waiting to happen for a year from now or two, because we were really focusing on the goalkeeper market, but the opportunity, of course, presented itself. And I think he's probably the one I would say.
The I gotta tell you that the most I'm excited about watching has to be Mark Bernal, because he had so much promise in the beginning of last season, the preseason, and the way that he got injured was so unfortunate. Like, we were already like speaking so highly of him last season. And one thing I want to ask you, because I know we're not going to talk about the Club World Cup, but there's something to me that looked really apparent to kind of a blueprint of beating PSG, and to me it was Caicedo. Caicedo was such a backbone for that team to play the way they did against PSG. So it offered a little bit more clarity, in my opinion, that we probably had the double pivot between Frankie and Pedri. Now it's really good for ball control, but to play better defense, having a guy like Caicedo, having a guy like Casado, that brings a whole dynamic to a team who can actually just take over a game the way that Chelsea did over PSG. The Vitinha Joao Neves were so frustrating in this game like I've never seen before. But what's kind of your take on kind of Bernal coming back and kind of Casado and, that Caicedo take? What are you saying about that?
I think it's a bit of each system to their own. Of course, I do rate Bernal very, very highly, but he's coming off the back of the ACL. It's going to be very similar to what Gavi was last season. Zero hope, zero priority. If he plays, fantastic. If he comes back fit, great. Ease him into it. Even if we have injury concerns, try and play around him. Don't force him to play too much. The priority for Bernal will probably just to get back to fully matched fitness, get back to being used to, training week in, week out after a year off, especially at a high intensity, high level like Barcelona. So I think that he's definitely someone to look for maybe more so next season. But since he is coming back early, remember Gavi came back, I think, end of October. He should be back hopefully at least on the plane to Asia for the tour. Maybe there could be a different scenario, but I think the compatibility that we do have already in that pivot is really, really strong with Frankie and Pedri. Of course, Casado can provide that more natural defensive awareness option, but then you lose a little bit, progressively going forward. But I understand your point, but I think that we're so trusted and we're so not reliant, but so believing in our system and our play that I don't think if we're a Caicedo profile will jump our ability much more than we've seen from last season.
Yeah, because that was a whole debate somewhere around last season, right? We said, who do we want, right? Do we want Casado because he had a great game in a couple, in the beginning of the season? He had really, we all thought that he was going to be a starter for the whole season, and then he got injured. Then Frankie came in and just knocked it out of the park. And now the consensus is going to be Frankie and Pedri going forward until we see otherwise. But that's just kind of why I thought it was a little interesting. Like, there's always that take where we think that we're losing on defense. So in your opinion, we're not losing on defense just having the Pedri Frankie combo rather than having a guy like Casado?
It's a tricky one because I would say defensively, of course, yes. But then you look at we are Barcelona, where 9 times out of 10 we're going to be the more dominant team in every game that we play.
Yeah.
So you need them. I think in those kind of scenarios, you have to prioritize progressing forward more than defensively. Because yes, you can get got out by a counter goal by Valencia or get done on the corner by Osasuna, whatever it may be. But maybe in the bigger games, you can maybe say, okay, maybe Casado, we want that more defensive, solidity. We can just rely more so on Pedri to progress the ball forward. But I think Frankie, where you look at, when he drops, masterclass performances, it's usually against those teams as well, where he provides so much going forward. And he's not terrible defensively. Yes, he's not as good as Casado, but he's not as bad. And we've seen the improvement that he has had, especially in the April-May period. Of course, when he came firstly in January, February, we talked about this. Everyone had a debate about it. But then when Flick improved his defensive awareness, defensive game, it looks like a perfect, midfield to what we need. I think it's a bit of a situation where you kind of have to take a hit in one side, but take the advantage on the other side that will be more favorable to what you want.
Yeah. Guys, there's 47 of you watching. Please like the stream, comment your thoughts, and always, subscribe to Barca Voice, subscribe to my channel as well. So what are you saying about Rooney Bardghji? My thing is, I was just going to finish saying that before I said the whole thing about Marc Bernal. But my second favorite player to watch coming off next season, or at least the preseason, right, is Rooney Bardghji, because I want to see, is he going to be a La Masia prospect, or is he going to be in a rotation, adding depth to the squad next season? What is your take on Rooney Bardghji for next season? What's kind of like your prediction on him? And are you as excited as I am to watch him? You see what he can bring to the table.
Yeah, very excited to see what he does in preseason. I think right now I think the only way he's going to be in the first team next season is if we don't sign a winger. If we don't sign, Luis Diaz, Marcus Rashford, Zaragoza, and Kunku, whoever it may be, I think that's his only chance. Even if he, unless he strikes the world to light in preseason and absolutely cooks beyond beliefs, I think the play will be for him to probably go out on loan to a first division La Liga team and to get minutes there, because we're at a point now where this team needs to win something. I'm sick and tired of, the trust you, this, that, and the other, such a young team. It's time for this core team to win, to get that winning feeling, to give them that hunger, to give them that little taste of what winning can be like. Yes, we have won trophies, but we've not won the big one. Can we do it with Rooney Bardghji? Of course we can. But I think you can't forget as well, he's coming off the back of an ACL. He's been out for the past year. I think he only played 2 games in later March in the Denmark League. I think Copenhagen is in. So the Danish League. So he's basically in the a Gavi Bernal situation himself as well. So people I think have a really high expectations just from the comps they've seen in clips, but be aware that he is coming off the back of a huge injury, being out for a year. So we are taking a risk as Barcelona, paying $2 million for him as well, even though there was interest for him. But
Yeah.
I think he's a really good talent. I've known about him for a few years now. When Copenhagen were playing in the Champions League, I watched the game against United. I think I was with my friend watching that game. Remember him playing against Bayern Munich. Don't remember the City one. I know people have mentioned City, but I don't remember that one. So very, very good player. But I think the pressure has to be very, very minimal on him. I don't think anyone should be expecting him to be in the first team next season. I think if he is, that means he exceeded beyond expectations in preseason.
Yeah. So it's funny you said that, because I want to ask you something, because I already said this in one of my live streams or videos. I can't remember exactly, but I been on record that am I crazy for saying this? I want Barcelona to go all out in the Champions League next season, to where I don't mind if we win La Liga next season or Copa del Rey. Am I crazy?
You're not crazy. I would agree with that, but it's just a bit unrealistic.
It's a
Barcelona
gamble.
Yeah, Barcelona have won 5 Champions League. We've never won a Champions League without winning the league. And it's like you could put look at United last season. They put all their eggs in the Europa League basket and they lost in the final, and their season went in the worst season in their history. I don't really want that for Barcelona either. You can get second La Liga, quarterfinals of the Copa del Rey or whatever, then you lose Champions League final. Then it's like you had a catastrophe season on paper. We could put, people say last season we had an okay season, even though we overachieved and overperformed and lost one game that took away one trophy, of course. But of course, if you told me right now you win only the Champions League next season, I will take it. If that's the season's mindset, I wouldn't disagree with it, but I'd just be worried about if things go badly, then what?
Yeah, because I know Real Madrid, they have done this. Like they
They're
always
masters of it, yeah.
they always prioritize the Champions League. There's one reason why they have so many is because they always give it an emphasis, right? They want to win the Champions League first. If they can win La Ligas, they'll win them, but they're most likely going to compete for the UEFA Champions League. So that's kind of why I had that take. But guys, please like this stream so we can get to more people. I want to ask you, because right now, okay, we have this whole saga that has already started. We saw this storm coming, like we saw it on the news like a month before, and sure, lo and behold, it says the tug of war, right, has begun. Ter Stegen, who chose to remain in the gym today and skip the first training session of the season. The saga is likely to drag on, but the thing is clear. Barca is actively looking to basically go away from him. What are your thoughts on specifically Ter Stegen here? I know we saw this coming, but the fact that he was in training today, but he chose to stay in the gym the whole time instead of going out with the team. And just real quick, to piggyback off that, to me, I've been a Ter Stegen supporter, but I was out the minute he didn't want to celebrate with the team. I thought that was really childish, and for a number one captain to do that, I think it's ridiculous. And I'm basically being out since then.
Can I swear?
Yeah.
He's a pussy, man. I mean, who the fuck acts like this? I realized I realized last season that we need a new goalkeeper. That like he has maybe 1 year left in him, and that's it. This season at the start, he was so ass. Valencia, Athletic Club, the Monaco game as well. That's when I was like, all right, enough's enough. Not trying with the team to enter because he thinks he's the big bollocks and he has to start. Not doing the speech because he dropped a stinker, didn't want to talk to the fans. You're the first team captain. You're the captain of the greatest club in the world, and you don't have the balls to train on the first day of preseason because the team wants you out. It is embarrassing.
Yeah.
But this for me is a good news because it shows that Barcelona have a lot of advantage in this scenario. You send him to the stands, he will walk. I know he's saying right now through his media, Helena Codez, his second girlfriend, oh, I want to stay. I'm going to do anything I can to stay. I promise you, he's going to end up leaving. How he leaves, when he leaves, where he'll go, nobody knows. Couldn't tell you. But I promise, September 1st, he will not be a Barcelona player. There's no way he can stay in this scenario with especially World Cup coming up in the summer. Finally, his arch rival Neuer, the greatest goalkeeper that we've probably seen in our generation, has retired. He was on the bench for the 2018, 2022 World Cup, 2020 Euros, 2021 Euros. He cannot play a single cap for the national team if it's not an international friendly match. And now it's his moment to finally, at least for his country, play one World Cup. And we all know World Cup is the greatest tournament to ever exist on this earth. So that will have a big factor as well. I can see Barcelona maybe paying like, 30, 40% of his contract just to let him go and join a team that will, cover the other 60% or whatever. But we've done all we can now. Now it's time to, I think what the club should do next, and this will be the final like nail in the coffin for what the club can do, is to give Joao Garcia the number 1 shirt, the actual like number 1 kit. That way you strip him of his number, more and more evidence of that. And there's basically at that point no way to come back. If he wants to stay at home, earn his money, now go to the World Cup and end his career earning his money with his girlfriend and his kids, whatever he wants to do, he can crack on. But if he cares about his career, which of course every player does in some sort of capacity, I think he'll end up leaving.
Yeah, I'm basically being on record of saying, like, to me, Ter Stegen, it's just frustrating because, like, he's the guy the girl already broke up with him and he's still showing up with flowers and being so delusional about it. It's just like, move on, bro. Like, the more you let this thing drag on, the worse it's going to get for him, because Barcelona, he doesn't hold any leverage. I mean, he does have like about 40 million or something on paper with Barca, but that's all his leverage that he's had. But right now with Joao Garcia, and it's also slowing down Barcelona as well, because we cannot have that kid from La Masia, we cannot have him as a third goalkeeper to start training, because that we will have too many goalkeepers right now on the roster. So the sooner that he figures out that he needs to go to Monaco, he needs to go to Galatasaray, I think these are really good clubs that he can go and start and just have a great season and stay informed for the World Cup. But he just doesn't want to do it. See, Earl over here says, sometimes I wish the club was just honest with us. And to this, I mean, I'm sure he means about the 1-1 rule. And I want to ask you that because honestly, I've been on record as well of saying, like, sometimes it's does this delusion. I don't know if Barcelona, right? They always, somebody once told me, like, you want in your business, right, or in life, you want to like under promise and over deliver. And it seems like Barcelona does the exact opposite. They over promise everything and they're always under delivering. It happened with the Camp Nou. It happened with Nico Williams. Like, we started with Nico Williams. How do we end up to today going from Nico Williams to Brian Zaragoza? What are your takes on kind of like the situation around the financial status of the club? Are you there? Can you guys hear me okay? I wonder if I lost him or if it's me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I think
I didn't know if that was me or you.
I don't know who it was. I just all went loading screen for me.
I was just going off. I don't know if you heard what I said, but it's like Barcelona always overpromise and underdelivers. And I was told to run my business, run my life, to always underpromise and overdeliver. What's kind of your take on the financial status of the club, and how do we went from Nico to Brian Zaragoza?
Well, Nico just finessed us, right? That's not what that had nothing to do with the club. The club they agreed at personal terms. They're going to pay his release.
Yeah, I think we're losing connection. I want the chat to let me know if that's me or Barca Boy Hafed who needs a better connection. That way we can have a better show. If you guys can just let us know. That way we can have a better show.
Hold on, let me change something. I'm gonna leg out again, but hopefully this will be the last time. I'm just gonna change something real quick.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so let me read the chat. There's so many chats right now, and I haven't been able to read them. So let's see. So bring him Nusa. I want Nusa. Yes, Nusa. I think that would be my choice. Let's see. Catalan says Leipzig just bought Bakayoko. So Nusa is possibly now. Okay. Let me know if you're back, Hafed.
I think I am now. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can tell, you can go ahead. You can take over because I know I asked you a question. But
yeah. So with Nico Williams, it's not really the club's fault, right? They were gonna pay his release clause. They agreed personal terms. In the end, he just decided to change his own mind as a player. You have to remember that the club came when this new regime came in. They were lied to about the money, and in the end, we had nothing. And they had to do, of course,
Guys, let me know. Let me know if you guys can hear me, and let me know if it's Barca Boy whose connection is not good. That way, I can get on that. I don't know if
So
it's me
weird.
or you.
So
I'm
every
still
time I start talking, it just lags.
I still don't know if it's me or you, honestly, because I've been having a lot of bad connections as of late. So I don't know if it could be me as well. But yeah, yeah, you can go. Okay, so I guess it's you. It's what the chat is saying.
It's me.
Yeah,
Let me trace that. One
it's
second.
not you. It's me. No, I guess yeah, it is. It is. I hear you. Hear you, El Salvador. He's calling me El Salvador. I'm from El Salvador, so yeah. Um, Yeah, so I get what you're saying though. That's true. Barca was going all out on Nico, but my point is, why are we going from Nico to Brian Zaragoza? Because I'm not going to blame the Nico Williams thing on Barca, but I am going to blame that we're going basically from Nico Williams to Brian Zaragoza. It was like Nico Williams, it was like Rashford, it was like Luis Diaz, and all of a sudden, like we're down to Brian Zaragoza. So it's just frustrating to me. It just
But but Zaragoza is just one link from one source. It's not like multiple sources have confirmed there or any like big source. It's one meaty guy who just mentioned it, like on El Triguito, which is a comedy show. If if more people bring it up and stuff like that, you can get worried. And I will join you and be worried as well because that drop off is ridiculous. But it's just one source. We already know what the class priority is. They're waiting for Luis Diaz to put in a transfer request and force him to move out from Liverpool, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, but definitely. I guess I would agree with that. Let me just read the chat real quick. It says United should go for Ter Stegen. They have Onana. It's a bigger clown. Stegen is better than him. What do you think? Do you think he would be a good fit for Manchester? Ter Stegen will be a good fit for Manchester United.
He's bigger for anywhere. Wherever he wants, we can take him, man. He can go and enjoy life in Manchester. He can go to France. He can go to wherever he needs. He can go to Turkey. He can do another hair transplant for all I care. Whatever he's got to do, wherever he's got to go, wherever wants to take him.
All right, so I got the next topic right now, and it's our star boy Lamin Yamal. And I'm just gonna be honest with you. I made a video on Lamin Yamal because I am starting to be worried about it. Because I think I don't know if I heard you say this, or might have been somebody else. But I think if it was you, it was something like, I'm not going to be worried until it shows up on the field, and that's a good take. I'm not going to say it's not, but we cannot ignore that all the bad signs are already there with Lamin Yamal. When it comes to partying, when it comes to wearing a $400,000 necklace, when it comes to dating OnlyFans models that are twice his age, when he's not even 18 years old yet. Like, his birthday was like yesterday, I think, something like that. And well, happy birthday, by the way. But the point remains, right? I am on the boat that it's starting to get concerning, not because he's not going to show up on the field. Like, as long as his performances are there, it's fine. But when we're talking longevity, when we're talking GOAT status, does he going to have his fastball come 10, 15 years from now? What's kind of your take around this whole situation with Lamin Yamal and the way he made a huge party? Now he's getting sued. Like, he's barely turned 18 and he's already getting sued. Like, what's your take on this whole situation?
In regards to him being sued, it's gonna fall through. The people that have that were in case of him being sued for have come out saying that nothing happened. I love it because he's in the limelight. Everyone hates him, and that just fuels him up even more. Listen, Neymar had a clause in his contract that he was allowed to go to Brazil once a month to go party. In the end, he came to the Camp Nou, dropped master classes. He had hat tricks when Messi was injured. It did not bother me. At the end of the day, you perform at Barcelona, you give 100%. You focus on the club during the season.
Mm-hmm.
In your summertime and your free time in the off season, you can date OnlyFans models. You can go and enjoy your fetishes however you need. Does not bother me. What I care about is when you put on the Blood Gunner shirt on the pitch at the Camp Nou, what you do and how you perform.
Yeah.
If he wants to have a big birthday party, he has money that he fairly rightly earned from Barcelona. He can do whatever he wants. He can buy a $3 million car. He can buy a $15 million mansion. Does not bother me. But all this stuff about him dating an OnlyFans model, him being sued for having certain people at his party that was completely fine and legal and consensual. That's all PR, which is going to help us a lot in the future. When we wanted him to go for a Ballon d'Or or whatever it may be, it'll help him as well to negotiate new contracts in the future with Barcelona. But the talent of the player is absolutely immense, and that is all that I care about. I think all this stuff.
He does seem like he's spending quite a bit of cash, very extremely fast.
I don't care if his dad has money. He's an advisor. Maybe he gets money because remember he's the biggest star in the world. He has remember he signed that big new Adidas deal back in November time. He has sponsors, of course, out his fucking ass at this point because everyone wants to sign him. So he definitely has money, and I don't really care how he spends it.
What I do think it was absolutely pathetic is that this city is trying to look into the party to see about this whole dwarf things that were, I guess, like they I don't know if they contracted some guys that were, I don't know, I guess the drawers or something like that. And like now they're trying to investigate if that was like racial profiling or something like that. And I thought it was ridiculous that it was the city who's trying to look into this. But what did you hear that?
Yeah. Again, it's all PR. You have to remember that Spain is 95% dominated by Real Madrid fans, so they're going to do what they can to, throw Barcelona off in any means necessary. I think though the people in question have come out saying that, oh, it was consensual, we got paid, this is our work, why judge us or whatever like that. Even that model who came out saying that, oh, that mean you wanted me because for my boobs or whatever, she put on her IG story, oh, I didn't have any proof of that, I just said it to say.
Yeah, she
like
took it back or something, right? She's
exactly.
backtracking from what I noticed. Yeah, she posted she's already backtracking the first initial reports, and then she's like, well, I don't know anything, it's not factual, I don't have any proof, or I don't have any pictures or anything like that. And now she's like really taking it all back, and it's just like, okay, so what is it, right? It's always something when it comes to Lamin, and they know it's gonna get clicks, and media knows this, and they're always going to use it. And Lamin Yamal, he seems like he doesn't care. But this is why Messi was so careful with his image for what he did. He was literally like a monk, right? He never did any off the field stuff. But it's because it depends on your personality, right?
Look
because
at Neymar. Neymar has so many idols right now, like Desiree Doué or whoever. They all look up to him, and he partied and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, like up the stream so we can get to more people. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, I want to ask you, because I know a lot of people have already jumped on the bandwagon again for Lamin Yamal Ballon d'Or. And did whatever happened with Dembele, did whatever happen, well, if we like, I know it's gonna sound biased, but last night, the game against PSG versus Chelsea, right? I didn't see Dembele at all. Like I don't remember any plays that he made throughout the whole game. And I think to myself, did I watch the Ballon d'Or last night? I don't think so. I know the accolades are there. I know the accomplishments, the UEFA Champions League, the League One, but the League On, they always win that. The Cup, they always win that. It's just a matter of what are they going to do in the Champions League. And they, out of all the clubs, and I said this at the time, out of all the clubs, as soon as the knockout stages started, I said this. I said, PSG has the best advantage out of everyone because they basically run away with their league, their locals every year. And lo and behold, they were the ones who basically run away with everyone at the end of the day. But I know if we talk in terms of numbers, Rafinha has better numbers. If we talk in terms of like performances, Lamin Yamal has better performances. And my only knock on Cristiano Ronaldo's take on the Champions League winner should always get the Ballon d'Or. Like, what if, for hypothetical, right? For the hypothetical sake, what if Borussia Dortmund would have beat Real Madrid that year? I mean, does one of them get the Ballon d'Or if every winner has to win it? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, are we still out for grabs with Lamin Yamal and Rafinha for Ballon d'Ors, or is it a close case in your opinion? As far as the Spanish media, they have already came out and said that they're going to push for Lamin Yamal to win it. But what's your take on that?
I think the Ballon d'Or should go to the best player in the world. The best player in the world is Lamin Yamal. I think Dembus has had a very, very good season. I think, the first 3 months and 4 months of him not performing and getting to fights with Luis Enrique should be a factor. Him not turning up for the Club World Cup whatsoever, which a lot of PSG fans are using to their advantage, and that if he cooks in the Club World Cup, you have to give it to him, which is probably true. He was injured for the first half in the group stage, and then the second half he didn't really provide anything remarkable. Big moments as well. Lamin is all over it, scored in every single Clasico, scored in the Atletico Madrid game, scored in every stage of the Champions League as well. How Barcelona win a domestic treble in a league that's not as easy as League beating Madrid in the Copa del Rey final, beating Madrid in the Spanish Super Cup final. And then there's the eye test as well, where you see Lamin's impact. You see players talk about him. You see they've been saying he's a struggle. I think Dembele is getting more PR for how good he presses than his actual, game-changing ability on the pitch. People say, "Oh, Dembele's pressing is like a menace." Look at this meme of him looking and staring down the goalkeeper. They're highlighting that more than his actual ability of creating and scoring goals and stuff like that. I actually do think that Lamin does have a chance, especially if the voting does not start until the start of the season. If Lamin starts the season really, really high, getting a bit of that recency bias, he might do it. I think Lamin's PR is head and shoulders above Dembele.
Yeah.
I think if he won the Nations League, I would be much more confident. But since he did beat, of course, Dembele in the Nations League, I think that should be a factor.
So that's the thing.
Well.
Like, he beat Dembele in the Nations League. He just didn't win it. It just really sucks that they couldn't get over the hump against Portugal. And give him credit, they have a great team. But had they won that, the Nations League, which is kind of ridiculous if we think about it, like narrative-wise, why are we using such a glorified friendly game competition, like such as the Nations League, as the big old end all towards Lamin Yamal winning or losing the Ballon d'Or? It just, to me, it's kind of ridiculous.
It's not because it's not for me because the race is so tight. You need something to decide it. So that's why the Nations League was kind of set up. They were both facing each other. I think that's why it's not going to be, I don't think, a huge factor later on, especially if there's one clear winner. But since the race was so tight that Barcelona fans are saying, "Oh, domestic treble, hard league," and then they're saying quadruple Champions League, easier league. You need something to kind of divide it. That's why I think it had a lot of evidence. Also, the Nations League is getting good. I think the Club World Cup as well will have more meaning after maybe 2 or 3 sessions. No one really cares about this one. I don't know about you. I did not watch a single second of the Club World Cup. Not even Messi or PSG or any big game. I didn't watch any of it.
You didn't watch the final?
No. I had no interest in the Club World Cup.
No way.
Maybe because Barcelona weren't in it. I don't know. But I had no real.
So I have strong feelings about the Club World Cup. I said it. This is basically, we're running through players now. Like, we saw what happened to Musiala, right? We actually got lucky that we didn't get a lot of these, because we're playing artificial turf, and we're playing these players after 2 weeks off from last season. We're playing them right now, and now some of these teams are only going to have 3 weeks, and they have to start their season already in August. To me, that's crazy.
It's also for me as a fan. I'm watching too many games here. I mean, I got a life. I need something to do. You're watching. I know people are saying, "Oh, I'll watch any official Barca game. I'm gonna watch. If I'm in the hospital, if I have one leg, funeral, wedding, serum, whatever, I'm gonna watch it." But even for me, I'm like, damn, I need a break. Season end, I'm like, thankfully, I can relax. I don't have to finesse my schedule around Barcelona 24/7. Like, even as a fan, I need a break. So that, on top of Barcelona not being in it, I hadn't real no interest in it. But I think, next one, the one after that, when hopefully Barcelona are in it, it'll have much more value to it, especially with the Nations League. It had nothing when Ronaldo won it the first time. But as you progress and you improve it, like, remember when Ronaldo won it, they had, I think, just straight final, or they had semifinal and the final. Now they have quarterfinal, semifinal, and final. So it's hard to win. And I think the Club World Cup will be the exact same. It's basically, it's like a new toy. You get used to it as time goes on. I like the idea every 4 years. I don't mind it, like a World Cup for clubs, and it gives you something that summer, because usually we're kind of like Euros, World Cup, break, Euros, World Cup, break. Now we have Club World Cup, break. No, we have Club World Cup, Euros, break. Club World Cup, Euros, break. So as long as that breaks in there, I'll take, because even the players just too much as well.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, there's 70 people watching. I want to ask you guys, please like the stream so we can get to more people. To me, Dembele, honestly, like, he had an okay World Cup. I didn't watch every game for the Club World Cup. I did watch the important games. I did watch a few Real Madrid games. I was curious to see what Xavi Alonso was going to bring into the table. I wanted to see what kind of scheme was Real Madrid going to next season, right? I did catch some of those games, but honestly, I think the Club World Cup is just a little redundant. Like to me, it's like it's always going to be the top club. I know the result doesn't back me up, but I think we can all agree that PSG. I don't know. I think if they play again, I don't know if Chelsea will win. But I think PSG throughout the whole season they look like the best team in the world still. But do you think that? Why is it that you don't like watching? Is it because you don't think that it matters, or do you think that it'll be more prestigious as we move forward into like maybe 20 years from now?
Many things. I don't think it has value. It was too quick. Barcelona not in it. I'm drained from the previous season. Um, in the summer when nobody really wants it right now, everyone's kind of tired from having the World Cup and Euros all the past summers and the big season, the 10th season. We have like 9 international breaks during the season as well. I think probably Barcelona not being in it was my main factor, but also knowing that this is going to be the first one. It's kind of the trial one. Nobody really remembers the first one, even when it comes to the Nation League as well. So I think a lot of things had a factor in me personally, but I did, keep score. I watched the highlights, stuff like that. I just didn't make time to watch the games
Yeah.
live, and oh guys, I can't hang out today. I gotta watch Chelsea versus Fluminense and stuff like that.
Do you think it's crazy? Sorry to switch topic, but do you think it's crazy? Because I was going to say this before I talked about the Club World Cup, but do you think it's crazy that we're basically not talking about Rafinha for Ballon d'Or? 34 goals, 25 assists, La Liga Player of the Season, La Liga Team of the Season. He made that. UEFA Champions League top scorer and the UEFA Champions League Team of the Season. Why are we not talking about Rafinha as Ballon d'Or? Let's be honest.
I don't know. I really hope he does come top 3. I think he definitely deserves it.
Yeah.
I think the PR and narrative isn't really there for him, unfortunately. And also, let's not beat around the bush here. Last 2 months, he did, of course, drop off a little bit. I think Copa del Rey final, he was horrendous. I think against Inter in both games wasn't that great. I know he scored a goal, the one that was an own goal off somewhere, the score that we thought hopefully was the winner against Inter in the second game. But I don't think he played well in those games. But I think he peaked too early, I guess. I think, his best moments during the season was probably like the October to February period where I felt like he was unstoppable. And everyone only remembers the last 3 months of the season, especially when it comes to trophies won and stuff like that. So definitely had a Ballon d'Or-esque campaign. Definitely deserves from the Ballon d'Or based on his number and his impact and what he's won. But you look at Lamin, who turned up in every single big game, had a huge impact for Barcelona when he wasn't playing. We were basically shit. At least when Rafinha wasn't playing, we had no other options. You have Dembele as well, who won everything. He won the quadruple with PSG. So I think he definitely should be third.
Yeah.
I think some predictions saying that he's 8th and 7th and stuff like that, and that's horrendous. But then again, you look at Vitinha, who won everything but the Club World Cup. Same with Nuno Mendes as well, who both played very well in the Nation League final and during the Club World Cup as well. So a lot of recency bias because that's what people remember mostly. But definitely had a Ballon d'Or winning.
Yeah. So I want to switch topics. It brings me to my next topic. I want to get your thoughts because I have mixed emotions about the front office because I know I've talked to a few fellas, right? I've talked to Omar, I've talked to Jonas. They also make content for Barca, and they are usually more under they don't like Deco and Laport as much as I do. I think Laporta has done a fantastic job when it comes to rebuilding the team, reshaping the project. What he inherited from Bartomeu, the financial how financially broken we were to what we are now with the deal with the Camp Nou, with the free financing things, with the Goldman Sachs and all that, and the JP Morgans. I thought this was a brilliant move for Barcelona, and Laporta was in the middle of all of that. And as also Deco, I've given him credit when it comes to listening to Hansi Flick. He said he didn't want goalkeepers, and he went and got John Garcia because Flick wanted him. So I feel like he's willing to listen, and he I don't know, like he sometimes doesn't do the best job, but he's better than I think most people will give him credit to. But what are your thoughts when it comes to Laporta and Deco, that combo together when with Barcelona? Do you think they've done a good job, or what's kind of your take on that?
I'm a big Laporta lover. I think he's done a 10 out of 10 job from the moment he came in on March 2021 until present day. I think he has saved this club from the verge of bankruptcy to now having us compete and being one of, if not the best team in the world. With Deco, I can see where people have really come to criticism for him, but you have to remember that since he's been the sporting director until now, he has not been in the 1-1 rule. He is operating with only 25% of what he's capable of doing. I see people say that he's missing out on top signings like Moyoku, the Belgium center back, and Lucas Berfal and stuff like that. At the end of the day, signing talent is not our priority. Our priority is making talent. If you see a nice talent on the market that you can get, you go and try and get him. And again, we made good offers to all these players, but they all got more offers from Mukoko, got more money from Ajax. Lucas Bergvall, we all know, was quite obvious that he chose Spurs because they offered more money and offered him a guaranteed spot in the first team, whereas Barcelona are saying you have to earn it. So I don't know why that's Deco's fault. But I think it sucks for him because he came at a bad time. Of course, Matteo Alemán had 300 million. He spent, of course, on Lewandowski, Rafa, Koundé. We all remember him and salute him forever. But when Deco has 40 million and he's not in the 1-1 rule, it's hard for him to do stuff and do maneuvers. But since he has come in, he's made a squad that him and Flick are very pleased with, that have had tremendous success so far. And I would love to see him like one summer, no financial issues, how he would do. But this is someone that helped us with the Rafinha deal, helped us with other deals as well, and it's someone that Laporta can trust, and that's the most important thing. As long as the president can trust you and you have some sort of ability, that's the most important thing. But I think Laporta, from when he came in until now, in 4 or 5 years of absolute hell at Barcelona, has only made, I would say, 3 mistakes. I would say, firstly, the way he let Messi leave wasn't the best. Last second, again, how Messi left is not his fault, but the last second one, Xavi as well, begging him to come back, then sacking him a month later. Again, the decision turns out well. We did very well with Flick, but it's just how he handled it. I would also say the renewal of Alonso. I know that Xavi wanted it, but him approving that I think was a bit idiotic. And I think everything else, he was 10 out of 10. The way he handled the Negreira case, doing the economic levers, bringing this club back to the top, preventing us from bankruptcy. What he's done with Espai Barca, obtaining the greatest sponsorship deal in the sports history so far with what we have with Spotify, getting the money for the Spotify Camp now, refinancing it to give Barcelona better terms as well. Even what he did recently with that UEFA fine, we get a 16 million euro UEFA fine. We can't afford that. We don't want to spend that on UEFA. We want to give that on Nico Williams, of course, at the time. Negotiates a payment plan and only us having to pay 15 of the 60 million euros. That is astounding. That is a 45 million euros saved like that easily. So he's done a 10 out of 10 job, in my opinion.
Yeah. What do you make of I didn't like the fact that we saw this great prospect, 18-year-old, I forget his name, but a defender, a CB, we sold them to Fiorentina for like 1 million. Like, what's your take on that? Did you hear about that?
Oh, the one that was recently, his name is Cospo?
Something like that. Yeah.
But you have to remember, these players leave because they want to leave. Like, I don't see a future by Barcelona. I want to go to this team and develop more there. I mean, look at him. That player, Kosovo, he's a juvenile A player. So he's with Julian Balletti with the under-19s, the one that won the treble last season. So he's 2 steps away from even scratching the first team. So he's quite behind. And we have a lot of center backs in the team as well. So he's probably thinking, I need to go somewhere else to develop my career. This is not Barcelona selling talent because we want money and stuff like that. Most of the time, and majority of the time, either they don't agree to a contract, or they ask to leave. There's never a time where Barcelona kick players out. Maybe their contract expires. They look, we don't think you're good enough. Adios, amigo. But all these things are, all these things is a reality and circle of life. If you don't do well, you try and capitalize the situation, and that's what Barcelona do.
That to Barca's credit, I think we are holding about 30 to 50%. It hasn't been revealed yet, but we're holding 30 to 50% on a future sell. But that's the only thing we have going for us. We could have given him a buyback option in case he does well. We could have had some sort of a clause in there that would help Barcelona to maybe bring him back. But I've heard from some people who actually watch him play that they think that this could be a really good kid in the future. Like, this kid has the makings of a Van Dijk. It's kind of what I heard, but I'm not sure. I haven't watched him play. I'm not going to act here like I know it all, like I watched this kid before. But if this is true or anywhere close to being true, I think 1 million does sound like a steal for Fiorentina, to be honest.
It's hard, right? How can Barcelona have someone with 1 year left in their deal and value them that highly when there's, again, he might look like Van Dijk with under 19 players. What happens if he plays, real dogs and real men? That's where you see a different perspective. Look, Barca, for example, highly rated, came to their first team, could hack it with the big dogs, did well. We've seen players come through who couldn't hack with the big dogs. It's
Yeah.
so many different cases. And sometimes you need to leave Barcelona to do well. Look at Alejandro Carmaldo. Look at Mauro Icardi. Look at um, other examples I can't think of off the top of my head. There's so many different scenarios where sometimes you have to leave. And if the roads lead you
Yeah,
back to
well,
Barcelona,
Piqué was one of them. Piqué was one
PK
of.
as well. Look at Denny Olmo. He had to leave because we had so many attacking players and at that time we weren't really trusting La Masia under Valverde and Bartomeu. He left. He came back.
And it
And
happens
for
to everybody. I mean, Real Madrid just bought Carreras, player who they had in their fabrica, right? A player they had in La Masia or in their academy, and now they're overpaying for him because they just let him go. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we've had so many evidence of it. Even for at the end of the day, if he wants to come back, he would definitely prioritize Barcelona.
So I want to get your thoughts on Marcus Rashford. I know we're getting to the end of the show, but I want to get your thoughts on Marcus Rashford, and I'll give you my quick thoughts before you go. And basically, I call him the Ferrari, right? The Ferrari. But do you really want a Ferrari to take you to A to B Monday through Friday to go to work? Probably not. He's probably had a good ceiling, but he's inconsistent. I think that we don't need that type of player because I feel like we're gambling on some player to just be great and just have consistency with us and just have Hansi Flick just just magic wand this thing into making it work instead of signing a player like Nusa, for example. I'm a big push for Nusa, and I'm a big guy for Lookman. I think Lookman is the Monday through Friday car you want to drive to work every day, and I think that's just such a hard worker for me. I would sign him in a heartbeat if I could. So the fact that we're going for Rashford, or if the rumors are true, right? Where do you land on this whole Rashford thing with the Barca? And to me, I just think we're gambling in just Hansi Flick's ability to make it work.
Rashford is a market opportunity, right? I'm on the fence. I'm on the side of if he's really cheap, whatever. I'm not really too bothered. It's only if you have to, bend over backwards and pay actual money for him. In regards to you saying, Nusa, which I think is a good player. Like I mentioned earlier, I think we're at a time now where this team needs to win now. We've been, signing young players and promise and all this stuff for years and years and years. If we sign him, okay, I won't, bend the leg or anything like that. But my mind says like it's time to win now. If we need to bring in players that have a bit of experience and not always prioritize a younger signing. You can't have a team just full of youngsters. You have to have some veterans. You have to have some players in their prime, some players with experience. Mm-hmm. That's why I think right now our team has a perfect balance. You have players in their prime, like your Rafinhas, your Frankie de Jongs. You have the veterans in the team like Lewandowski and Inigo. You have the youngsters like Lamin and Pedri and whoever it may be. I'm at a point now where it's time for us to win. So whatever that needs to be done, if they think it's Rashford, I think we do need some experience on that wing. We only have Lamin Yamal. Of course, Rafa is not a natural winger. He's inside forwards, essentially, pretty much. And with Ansu Fati leaving, we have no other first-team natural winger apart from Lamin. So whether Rashford is one, I know Rashford came out saying that he feels more like a striker, so I don't know what the frig we're doing. But a natural 1v1 winger is what this team is desperate for.
Yeah, and to me that's my issue. Like, if we're going to if we can't sign Nico Williams, for example, that means Rafinha is going to be our left winger for good, and we need to have somebody to just add in depth. This is why I'm so pro Nusa, for example, because we don't need a star player on the left wing. We just need somebody that we can have something different. Like for example, that Inter Milan game on the left, Rafinha was totally neutralized. He couldn't do anything on the left. As soon as Flick made a few changes and moved into the middle, Rafinha started cooking again. And sometimes that's all you need. Just need to tweak a few things and you need to have more variants that you can throw at different teams, such as Inter Milan in that semifinal. I believe that even after all of that, if we had a healthy team like with Conde and Balde, I think we would have made it through the final. But do you agree with that, or do you think that the things would have played out exactly the same?
No, I agree with you fully. I think if we had the depth there, if Lua was fit, Balde fit, we could have had a much better chance. I'll even highlight other games as well where we could have, dropped points if we didn't have the huge momentum we had on our side. This team now is at a point where it needs strong depth. I think the starting squad, the core of the team is very, very strong. Mm-hmm. But depth is needed. Full back and a winger is what we need. It's very simple. If I had to message to Deco and Laport and Cohen, whoever, just two signings, get me a proper winger, proper fullback, full steam ahead the next season. I think we'll be definitely competing.
It's so crazy to me that we are right here at this moment, because we were just about to close out the one of the greatest off seasons ever. If we would just had John Garcia, and would have had Nico Williams, and had we had somebody like, say, Grimaldo or Banderson, for example, and at that point it would have just been up to the left back position or right back. To me, I don't think we need a right back. Some people think we need a right back, because a lot of people mention Banderson. I don't think we need a right back, because we have Eric Garcia and Kunde. I think we're fine. But do you believe that we are okay at right back like I do, and we just need a left back, or you think we need addition of both?
I am. We need one fullback, and for me, how I would do it is whoever you want to sign. If you can find a favorable left back, a favorable right back, I would just put Hector Fort on the other side. So I would personally get rid of Gerard Martin to Wolves or Bournemouth or whoever, and I would go out there and I would try and sign either Alejandro Grimaldo or Venison. Whoever I sign between the two, I would have Hector Fort be the reserve option on the other side, because he in the end will be fourth choice, and you can play with it a lot. You have Eric Garcia for right back, Kunde for right back. If we sign Venison, you can have Venison for right back and left back. The main one who needs competition is Baldes. I would prioritize maybe a left back over a right back, but I would still take a right back over nothing. Yeah, I think the club really want to find someone who can play on both sides. I think Venison does check those boxes. When people were telling me I was stupid for saying to buy Cancelo, and now all of a sudden I look like an absolute genius. Stuff like very very obviously we should have bought him, but just a fullback that can play on both sides, predominantly I would say on the left, along with a left winger, is all this team needs to take that extra level up.
So, do you think that Jan Bardghji is ready for the first team?
Who? Sorry.
It's that new kid, Bardghji. What's his name? I know there's a few kids that are coming out right now that are supposed to be ready for Flick, and this kid is one of them. I watched a few clips of him. He does look really good. I mean, I think he's 18 right now, or he just turned 19, something like that. Do you know of him, or never heard of him?
The name doesn't ring a bell. Can you say it one more time?
It's right here on the screen. Do you see it?
Oh. I've never heard of him.
Oh wow, yeah, no, I've heard of him. I just don't. I haven't seen him enough. Well, Hansi Flick is the one who knows more, but I'm sure that Hansi Flick will probably. I think it's going to be part of the preseason squad. So that's at least that's the one thing that you should take away, is that if he's in the number one squad and ready to go on a preseason, it's because Hansi Flick is going to be trying out some of these kids. And hopefully somebody can, help this team if we don't add anyone, like, for example, if we can't add a Lookman. Give me a quick take on Lookman, because I really, if it was up to me, that's the player that I would bring into the club.
I'll take Lookman. I think Lookman is a good player. Again, someone that just fits the mold of a 1v1 winger is what this team needs, of semi-decent level. Of course, I wouldn't go for Zaragoza. I think, like you said, with Nusa, he's a bit younger.
Dude. If we get Zaragoza, I'm telling you, bro, I'm gonna break the internet. I'm just gonna be pissed, bro. Pissed if we get Zaragoza, bro.
I wouldn't blame you. I would be pissed too. But Lookman is a great option, a good price as well. I would probably maybe argue buying Lookman is better than getting like Luis Diaz for like 70 million upwards. Or maybe even Rashford on loan with a buy option of 40. But then the loan, it doesn't maybe favor Rashford a little bit. Rashford can play down the middle and on the left. But I do like Lookman. I would definitely take him at Barcelona.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm thinking. But in terms of the club, do you know anything that you can tell us as far as like where do we land on this 1-1 rule thing? Like, nobody knows anymore. Like, we're supposed to be done and ready, and now it looks like we're not. We don't even have John Garcia register, and then we have to eat so much crow because Real Madrid just keeps signing players left and right, and they already registered. If you look at this kid Carrera, it's going to be registered pretty soon. The Alexander Arnold's already registered. Dean is already registered. And here we are, one signing, and we can't even get it registered. It's just insane.
So Barcelona can register him. They're just waiting to do everything at once. And also, we love to do things last second as well. In regards to the 1 rule, we're super, super close. I think the renewal of Frankie de Jong will tied up pretty much. Sales of, or we're getting rid of Oil Romeu, Pau Victor, and Akipenya. We will be there before the Liga starts, and once we're there, that's when we'll register. I think we could probably register Joel Garcia now, but registering him now under 1-3 takes away certain restrictions, which is why the club are going to wait, and the club have time as well. As long as he's registered before the start of La Liga, that's when the club really, really care. But I'm very, very calm. But once the Nike deal was done back in, February, the one rule has been very, very calm. Just logistics, of course, La Liga being a bit of, bitches about our VIP boxes. Oh, we have to actually see the boxes for them to be approved. The order not putting in it as well didn't help out. But in terms of financially and money-wise, where we're currently standing, what needs to be done, we're basically there. There's no, there won't be any problems whatsoever.
Are you happy that Pablo Torre is joining Mallorca? Do you think this is this best move? I know he was linked for a minute. I think he was linked to Monaco as well, or he was linked to another club. I thought it was a better fit, but ultimately Mallorca is the one who takes the kid, and I think they're gonna get a stud. By the way, I have a lot of. Actually, I was a little upset at Flick at some point in the season when Olmo got injured that we didn't see this kid a little bit more.
I really, 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 really rate Pablo Torre. I think he's a great player. I think this is a great sale for Barcelona as well, getting some money, 5 million, also having, lots of control of his future, a buyback option, percent of future sale.
Huge.
My only concern is selling him when we play Mallorca on the first game of the season. Imagine he goes there and cooks us. That's my only. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. That's my only concern. But I think Torre is a fantastic player. I think he reminds me a lot of, other midfielders in defender situations over the past few years where they're so good, but the situation Barcelona just doesn't have room for them, whether it's Carlos Anenya, Pablo Torre, Ricky Puig, Germaldo back in the day, or whoever it may be, where there was a great talent, but the first team was already kind of
realize. I didn't realize that. And I'm really excited that he's going to Mallorca or that he's going to any club that's going to start him. And it's going to be really exciting that his first game is against Barca. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. I was thinking a lot during the transfer saga. I'm like, just put a clause that he can't play against the first game or stall it or something.
Can you imagine him cooking Barca, cooking Kuwarsi?
First game of the season is anybody's games. I wouldn't be surprised. As long as we win, I'll take it. But I just would be so pissed if we lost or dropped points in that game and he either dropped the masterclass, got the winning assist, or God forbid, got the winning goal as well. That would be really, really annoying.
Yeah, no, it is, man. Like at the end of the day, like I just hope that he can play well. Like any team, any player that leaves the club, even if they're on a buyback option, we need them to be great. Because the better, the better they play, the more money we can get for the players in the future sale, right? So we can only gain more from it, from per se. So I was looking for the Araujo stuff because apparently he took a prime bottle and he said that his prime is going to be back. Yeah. Oh, okay. So what's your take on Araujo? I think it's a little weird that he came out and said that, just because, like, bro, here it is. Look, it's right here. So it says, Araujo, this year, do you know what you're going to see? And he said, my prime. Do you think
he's he said that to himself too. He went to the camera and said, you know what you're going to see this year? My prime. That's what he said.
Do you believe that? Are you a buyer or seller? Like, what's the deal here? Like, is this a message? Is he back?
For me on Idaho, this is kind of like do or die for him. I think everyone's reached up. He's already has some haters. I think he's at a point now where the neutrals like me are kind of like, this is it. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. We can't have 3 times where he's cost us on Champions League game. I think he's a great, fantastic, world-class defender. I just think on the ball and his IQ is very, very low for a Barcelona level. And of course, last season he had the excuse of being hit with injury, being out for the first half of the season. Of course, when he came back, he played really well. That's why he got that contract renewal. He has one of the biggest wages in the team as well. I think this is it for him, though. I would keep him. Of course, he won't start the season as a starting center back, but I think he'll become a great use. I really liked his role from February until May, where he's kind of that reserve option. He came and played like those mini games, Mallorca, Osasuna at home, stuff like that, and played really well. Because what you had to do in that game was just defend, kick it away. When you rely on your talent, your IQ, like we saw in the Inter game, that's where he shows his flaws. But for me, this is kind of the last season. If he plays well this season, I would, hold on to him. If he does poor, costs us in certain moments, or does something, I would definitely call it quits.
Well, I think it's a little tricky this season because if we keep him and he has another bad season, I think we lose all his value. But on the other hand, I'm still a big believer in Araujo. And I've said this in other streams. I said, I think that we over exaggerate all his bad mistakes, and they're like it's so easy to point them out, right? Because they're so like they're just moments
Yeah.
Like the Inter Milan moment. You think about the red card moment. So things like that are just like moments, and like obviously people get overreact. It's always overreaction, right? When something bad, and it's always the same guy, and we think. But when you step back and you see like his abilities, his potential, his athleticism, his physical, like his body, right? Like we need what Araujo has to bring to the table. We need more physicality. We need more size in the box. And these are the things that I don't know how good Inigo Martinez is going to be. We're all here basically thinking that it's guaranteed that Inigo Martinez is going to have a great season because he did have a great season last year. But that doesn't say, he next year he's going to be 1 year older, just like Lewandowski will. And to me, both of them are going to feel this season is one of my predictions that both of these players are going to feel a year too late that we keep them under contract. But what's your take on these two players coming in for next season?
On Idaho, like I mentioned, I agree with you. Like if you look at the red card against PSG, if we win that game, nobody would care. Same thing with Inter as well. It's just that the situation kind of caught themselves. And I do agree with you that I think he has great talent, great ability. I think his build for defenders fantastic. His speed is great. Even in the tailor end of last season, we've seen him, play with the ball less. I think that's a really good instruction by Flick to, when they get the ball, just send it clear, pick the short passes, never really attempted any long passes. On Inigo and Lewandowski, I do agree. I think this will be both their last seasons, regardless. I think, like you mentioned, with Inigo, you just don't know. I think with Lewandowski, there's a bit of I can guarantee that Lewandowski will at least get 20 goals in all competition. Of course, remember last season he got like 47, so I would say that this season I think he can at least get minimum 20. And with Inigo, you never know, but Inigo did play, didn't play too many minutes over his career as well. Maybe he has a bit more longevity in him, but I can definitely see that center back spot being up for grabs way more than striker. I think Lewandowski, broken toe or whatever, he'll start up front this season. But Inigo is definitely one to watch. I think this will be his last season as well.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I mean that basically wraps it up, man. Like I said, I'm gonna read the chat. Let me know how much time you have. If you need to leave, I totally understand.
I can do one more question that I have to.
Okay, let's see. Let's check it out. Let's see what there's a good question somewhere around here. I know there's a lot of comments. Some people can't believe we haven't seen much of the kid who was mentioned.
Yeah,
Virgili.
name does not ring a bell at all.
I haven't seen it. I have seen him actually. Like I know he's good. It's all up to Flick. Flick needs to be the one who needs to be bringing him up, putting him ready to go, and basically the preseason. I'm excited for the preseason because we're gonna watch not our starting 11. We're gonna watch all these kids, right? We're gonna be watching.
I would disagree a little bit with that. I think we're gonna have a lot of. It's not gonna be like last preseason where a lot of our first team needed that extra rest from the Euros. We're gonna have a lot of first team players here. So I think we will see probably more stronger sides than not. So I'll be wary of that. I think we will see these players that come for preseason, whether it be Tony Fernandez, Gidi Fernandez, Ibrahim Diarra, Rooney Bardghji. They might get little minutes. That's what's gonna be hard for them to exploit it. But yeah, I think we're gonna have. If you think about it, that means to be fully fresh. Rafa, Lua, Pedri, De Jong, Balde, who of course didn't even play the end of last season. Kubarsi, Inigo, Kunde, all fully fresh, ready to go. Right, so we'll see a lot more of our starlet players. We will our fringe players. I feel like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I don't see many questions in the chat. Just a lot of comments, but I don't see any questions. Is there any last thoughts or any last comments that you wanted to bring up as far as Barcelona going into next season?
Not really. I guess my one question would just be to ask you specifically would be like, how do you think Ter Stegen's situation will pan out? I think he'll leave now after the season starts, last second of the transfer window. I think he'll, take it on the chin early. I see this dragging quite a bit. I think he needs his number to be stripped, and then also for him not to be like in the squad list or for the tour or anything like that. That might force him out. But do you think it'll be easy, complicated? What are your
Yeah, no,
thoughts?
I think it's gonna be a whole saga. It's gonna be a soap opera. We need to get ready. I think honestly, what's going on here is just gonna be who's gonna force whose hand, because I don't think Ter Stegen has any leverage, or not nearly as much leverage as he think he has. All he
Mhm.
has is the contract of Barca, and that's fine. But the minute Barcelona is going to tell him, okay, you need to go to the stands, because you can already see it. Somebody said it in the comments. How can you compete for your spot when you're not in training on the first day? Like, what's true here? You're saying you want to compete for your spot, but at the same time, you're staying at the gym inside the facilities when the whole team is outside.
Exactly.
How is the
Exactly.
coach going to see that? Like, I don't understand. Like, and I was out the minute he didn't want to celebrate, or didn't even want to take the microphone to say words about the championship title. And then there was a video between Laporta and Hansi Flick, basically wandering
Mhm.
around, like, why is he not wanting to speak? Why is he not wanting to come over here and celebrate? That moment, I just knew I was out on Ter Stegen.
Yeah, I'm completely the same. I think everyone was kind of, had enough of him at that point, especially with the news that came out afterwards about what he did in the lead up
Yeah.
to the Inter game and stuff like that. So
Yeah, so I guess Zaragoza going for 12 million. You get Brian Zaragoza for 12 million. That's
I wouldn't pay €1 for him, if I'm being honest.
I'll put it to you straight. He's so bad. He's only good against Barca.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even pay 3 million. Like, in a realistic world, I wouldn't pay 3, maybe not even 2 million. Whatever the minimum is, that's how much I would offer Osasuna. I just don't get it, bro. I just don't get
Yeah.
it. So so I guess Virgili, he's very direct and a really fast. He's got some dribble. Yeah, he is very direct. I don't see him that I don't see from what I've seen, he's not a big dribbler, but he's fast. He'll go past people. So yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, no, I just wanted to say, thank you for making the time to be in here. I really appreciate it. I think it's a good show. I think it's great to have you on, and yeah, man. I hope you continue success. I do want to ask you something, because this is more of not personal, but if you allow me, when when was when was a moment where you realized that, how long have you been covering the team? That would be my first question. I know you've had your channel for about 5 years. What was there a moment where you really felt like your channel, and you and yourself and your channel, you made it when it comes to covering the team? Are you
I'm
there?
back. What was your question? Yeah, yeah.
The question was there, how long have you been covering the team? And another question was there a moment when you said, holy crap, I've made it? Like, we all have those, like for me, like, I'm still trying to make it. Like, I'm not even past 2,000. You got 37,000 subscribers. When was your moment where you realized, like, you had a lot of people swerving into your videos?
Um, I don't know. That kind of motivated me to keep going. But there's never a moment where I was like, wow, like the numbers are crazy. I do because I like it. I do because I enjoy it. Like talking about my club, like watching my
Yeah.
club.
Mm-hmm.
I would do anything for this club to succeed. And
Right.
the views and the whatever subscribers is secondary to me.
Yeah.
What I really want is just to document my journey into the news, watching the team, reacting to what things happen, also talking with people like you and everyone else about Barcelona. Because I grew up with no Barcelona fans too much around me, just one or two. So even talking to more is one of the biggest advantages of having a platform like this.
When was the first time you thought you became a Barca fan? Like, to me, I go back to watching Romario, and just when R9 was starting basically we started to get to know him at Barcelona. His first season is the one season I remember becoming a Barca fan.
For me, it kind of stemmed a lot from my cousin who was an Argentina fan. He loved Riquelme,
Mm-hmm.
And of course, at the time, Rick Gambia was playing for Barcelona, and he was telling me about this, next kid is gonna be the next best thing, which was Messi. So I was actually an Argentina fan before a Barca fan. Of course, I'm Barcelona way more now, and
Mm-hmm.
Argentina is very much secondary to me. But I was watching Messi. I got into soccer or football, and I thought it was just countries. I didn't even know there was clubs. So I was watching, the World Cup in 2006 and then 2010. In 2010, I'm seeing players like, Xavi, yes, I loved it. I'm like, oh, these guys are ballers, and Messi was doing well. My cousin was like, oh, they're all on the same club team. Like, there's club teams,
Mm-hmm.
more football. Like, yeah, it's called Barcelona. So I end up, watching Barcelona more because I just like those players. And then the connection grew with the team, and the rest is history.
Dude, it's funny because my brother is a big Real Madrid fan. Like we get on the phone sometimes when the Clásicos and things like that. And I remember still as a little kid in my country, I'm from El Salvador. So my country is too small. We don't have a league. When we do have a league, but it's non-existent. Like nobody really watches that league. But
Mm.
my thing is, and we have to watch other leagues, and it's always Barcelona, or Real Madrid. And it was I remember one room where we always watch as a little boy, and everyone in the room was a Real Madrid fan. Everybody was rooting for Real Madrid, and like my brother was trying to get me to like Real Madrid, but I was like, I don't know, man. Like these white shirts don't really, I don't really like it. It's just like
Don't float my
I'm like,
boat.
well, and I remember thinking like, well, I like red and I like blue. So I'm like, I'm just gonna root for the red and blue team. And from then on, I just never looked back.
Sometimes it's that simple.
But my brother, dude, he's been a big advocate for me to make me a Real Madrid fan. I had all the excuses to be a Madrid fan. In my opinion, I think it's the easiest thing in the world is to be a Madrid fan because they always, the state club team, they always get like the more money, they always get the best players, and honestly, like they have the most Champions League, so everybody wants to root for the winners, right? And when you're
Mhm.
rooting for a team like Barcelona, players from La Masia, players who come in, like sometimes it's not the sexiest thing in the world, but it's the team that I loved, and that's how I became. I think it's harder to be a so that's why when I see a Barca fan, I know that guy likes football because
You got the knowledge, yeah.
it's more than just winning, and it's more than just more trophies, and just to say that you're a Madrid fan. I think sometimes it's the easiest thing to do.
Exactly. Could not agree more.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thank you for stopping by, man. I really
All
appreciate
right.
you.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. See you guys in the next
All
one.
right, I'll stay in for a little bit longer to read the chat, but I
All
appreciate
right.
your time, man. Thank you so
Take
much.
care. Take care. No worries.
All right, guys. So let's read the chat for a minute. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Guys, please like the stream. There's 52 likes. I'm trying to get to 60 likes before the end of the stream. I'll stay for another couple of minutes. If I miss some of your chats, I apologize. If you can still rewrite them, and I'll start reading them. Thank you, Jonas, for stopping by. I really appreciate it, man. Always supporting my streams, and I'm always supporting yours. So it's good. It's good that we're supporting each other. It says, do not worry, comeback season of the year. Let's go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, brother. And Jonathan, I know you said how come we didn't hear about Bardghji, right? I actually watched him play. I watched maybe 5 to 10 minutes of him. I've watched maybe 3 videos on him. The kid looks really good, and I hope that Hansi Flick can really give him time and can really try him out in this preseason games. So Barca Boy, you have heard of anything about Ratitu? Sorry, buddy, I read it too late. All right, so let's see. Guys, please like the streams. I'm trying to get to 60. There's 55 likes. Guys, please help me out. I really appreciate it, man. Let me know what you guys want to say. If you have any questions before the end of the stream, ¿Cómo te llamas, El Salvador? It's funny, you remember my country, but you didn't remember my name. I don't mention my name a lot. I don't feel like it's too relevant, but it's Miguel, and I did think you noticed that. So it's Miguel, and I am from El Salvador. So Barca volume, bro, do we make the 1-1 rule finally, and are we still in the mud? So technically, we are still not in the 1-1 rule, but I don't think we're in the mud. I think it's just a matter of time, and Barcelona wants to get the sell for the VIP seats by August, and I think that La Liga didn't want to validate them. So because I guess for the construction, something to do with the construction, so Barcelona is waiting a little bit more time so that La Liga can recognize the sell for the VIP seats. That would take us to the 1-1 rule definitely. But Barcelona will be in the 1-1 rule, no problem. So, okay, so that's a comment for someone else, Miguel and Barca Boy. Yeah, and Barca Boy is Hafed, by the way. His name's Hafed. We do not we do not know the conversation he had with Flick. Yeah, we do not know the conversation, but the stories did get leaked, and some it was something along the lines of Flick telling him that John Garcia is the number one, Chesney is the number two, and he has to be the number three at that point. He has to be okay with that going into next season, and I guess he was extremely upset with Flick about that too. So yeah, so Barcelona first keeper, please go to another team. Yes, another team. So Jonathan Hyde, okay, that's you guys talking. I'm not gonna read those. Zaragoza, why? This guy is shit. I am with you 1000%. Like I already said this, I'm on record. If Zaragoza goes to Barca, I am going to crush my TV. I'm going to crush my computer. Like I may not make any more streams after that. Like Zaragoza, I am going to break the internet. Like I'm going to break stuff. I'm just going to break stuff if Zaragoza goes to Barca. I'm out of words. I'm just out of words. I just cannot believe it. I just can't. How about Javi Paudo for left wing? I would much rather Nusa. There's more better. In my opinion, there's better options out there. But you let me know if that's the number one option. I hear you. Too early rule him. Too early to rule him. To rule him out. Just signings on radar. Yeah. Especially since this Barca especially since this is Barca we are talking about. We don't write off La Masia talent that easily. Yeah, you're totally right. Honestly, this kid Bardghji Torrance is another kid that's coming out that could really that you have something to say and help Hansi Flick. Well, who knows? Maybe these kids are gonna be good. I mean, I don't think a lot of people saw Lamin Yamal do this so early, right? Until Xavi did it. I think it was Xavi who gave him the chance. La Masia, it's insane. Best we had in a long time. We need a left back and a right back, all or La Masia. And yeah, I mean, I think we need a left back, Grimaldo maybe. I don't think we need a right back. I think I will give the spot. I think Eddie Garcia, guys, come on. Eddie Garcia has earned more respect. I think he earned more respect, more time for next season. Let's just be honest. Great live stream. Thank you, Stevan. I appreciate that, man. That goes a long way. That really, really goes a long way. W stream, boys. Thank you, Barca Reacts. I'm going to be with Barca Reacts tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow with Barca Reacts. So, guys, please be there, everybody. Barca Reacts, me and him going to be talking Barca news. So, let's get it, man. Let's get it. So, as Victor says, Nusa gives Yamal buys on the left. Why can't this club sign the right players that we need? We are all in the same boat, bro. Victor, like I totally understand what you're saying. That is just the one thing I just don't understand, right? Why don't we just get the right player? Nusa is the best prospect. Let's get him on the left wing, and we don't have to start him. He doesn't have to start for us. We don't need him to be the starter, like a star for us. We have Rafinha. Rafinha will be there next season, and he can just come in a few minutes and then start a few games and see what he can do, see what his growth. And this is what I'm saying. So the Evil Empire, Stevan says, great choice you made, Miguel. When you said great choice that I made, I want you to elaborate on that. We talked about a lot of things. It says we need the Champions League. Yes. I don't want Barcelona to focus so much in La Liga. I want Barca to pull a Real Madrid right now, next season. Let's go all out on the Champions League, especially because the Champions League already announced. If you're one of the first in the table, the one of top 8, you're going to have advantage over every single team. You're going to have a home field advantage. So that is great news. You're spot on. Most international Madrid fans are glory hunters. Exactly. They just want, oh, because Madrid has more Champions Leagues, I want to root for Real Madrid. Being a Barca fan is being a real fan, bro. That's a real fandom, like being a Barca fan. It's just my opinion. I think Lookman and Nusa is good to sign. Excited for La Masia players. Does Barca have no pay of player over 60 million? And love the videos, bro. Keep it up. Hey, MRXP, thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate it. I think as far as the money, I think we shouldn't spend more than 60 million on a player right now. We don't have that kind of financial status. I think we need to stay away. Gracias, Esteban. I think La Masia is dragging their foot so that Barca don't sign players easily. Yeah, yeah, I know. La Liga and Tebas, man, don't get me started. Like, I'm just gonna go on a rant again about the stupid Javier Tebas, man. Um, yeah, so smash the likes, people. Yes, please smash the likes. Thank you, Barca Reacts, for that. I'm getting to the end of the stream, guys. So please, before you leave, please like the stream. It says, I think you exaggerated in Zaragoza take. We don't need a starting left wing. We need someone that can give a spark. We need, when we need. Our attack was excellent. No need to change, but we need something. Okay, my problem with Zaragoza and why I'm so outraged is, for example, if we're gonna bring in Zaragoza, is Zaragoza better than Ansu Fati? We don't know. If that's the case, I'd rather keep Ansu Fati and just have Ansu Fati on the left wing. That's my point. I know Ansu Fati is expensive. I know. We need to offload that money, so that's why that's not a good option either. But all I'm saying is, like, if we're gonna bring in Zaragoza, maybe just might as well just go for La Masia player or something like that. Have you got any news on Rashford? Are we signing any player? No news right now. Or is it just me? No, it's not just you. The problem with Rashford is there's an internal division. Some people want him, some people don't. So Barca is still waiting to have everyone on the same page to see what player they want to go after. I still believe there's still a month to go. The sooner we can bring somebody in, the better. But it doesn't mean that Barca needs to bring in right now. We just need to be patient. But I do think that Deco and Laporta are butchering this, because the sooner you bring it in, the better it's going to work for next season. And remember, Dani Olmo didn't have a lot of time with Hansi Flick last season. So that's something to look for this season as well. So the sooner the player comes in, the better it is. It just is, right? So he can bring more than Fati last season, in my opinion. Really? More than Ansu Fati? Wow. You must really watch, Osasuna games. I don't. I prefer we invest in a good bench player that we don't demand to start. Exactly, like Nusa, some, like even Rashford. I guess it would be, if it's just a loan outright, Rashford is fine. But if it's if Manchester United is demanding that we buy him, I don't want him. I don't want him. Visca Barça, low from Nigeria. Hello, Nigeria. How's it going over there, man? It says, Stevan, choice from Barça over Madrid despite peer pressure from the brother and friends. Nusa, it's on the market. I guess Nusa, it's not on the market, but everyone's on the market for the right price. Let me tell you that. We need a real left winger for width. Yes, I agree. What do you think about Barça from PSG? Okay, so what do you think about Barcola from PSG? He's the closest to Nico. I don't rate Barcola too highly. I don't think he's too technical. I think Nico Williams is more technical than Barcola. I think Barcola is a gazella. Okay, he's fast. He can dribble, but not as much. He's more direct. But if we can bring in Barcola to do the same role that he's doing at PSG, I'm okay with it. But depends on the price. UEFA champ. Okay, the UCL is Flick's plan for next season to come. I hope so. I really, truly, truly hope for. I don't rate Rashford. Me neither. I think he's like that sexy car you want to drive on the weekends, but that it doesn't really get you much than that. It's high maintenance. It's inconsistent. I don't know. When a player is young and not on the market, you will pay top price. Can Barca afford this now? No. Maybe next season. As yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. We don't need Barcola. He can dribble, but he's always missed goal chances. Yeah, he's not as good on the ball. I think even Lamin Yamal is better at finishing chances than Barcola is. Barcola, he's there, he's fast, but he misses a lot of chances. Guys, I thank you guys so much. There's 72 people watching. There's 62 likes. Guys, please like the stream. I am going to end this now. I appreciate everyone who watched. Guys, if you subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell. I will have more to come. I am going to have a live stream with RSM. I don't know if you guys remember him. I used to upload videos with RSM. We're gonna have a live stream on Wednesday. We're going to talk about Chelsea. We're going to talk about Barca. We're going to talk about Ballon d'Or. He's going to be a voice of reason, right? I'm biased. I'm all Barcelona. He's more of a Chelsea fan, but he's unbiased. I am biased. He's unbiased. You guys get a better show. So I'm going to bring him on Wednesday. So you guys, and also remember, on Saturday, we go back to our regular schedule for Cules only podcast. On Saturday, I'm going to drop episode number 5 as well. So, guys, be tuned in for that. So, activate the notification bell so you guys are notified when we have upcoming events. So, guys, thank you for stopping by with Barca Boy. It was a total W stream, and I thank everyone for watching. Guys, Visca Barça. I'll catch you guys on the next video.